Right, I thought I'd do a bit of a Loft update. So a few things have changed to sort of go along. It's a bit of a mess up here, but it's work in progress. So at the moment we have layouts on the floor. So very, very messy at the moment. Just kind of play around, a bit incomplete. We've got obviously this kind of line down here, the outer ring. That's just kind of one that's added in. Amazon tunnel, just placeholder, and it goes up there, which looks like it's been disconnected to a station. This is purely just sort of testing, getting layout, getting the trains working. What else? Recently added lights, so we've got some kind of lighting over there in the lower eaves, the scale electric. Which is quite good, so it's basically sort of separate little play area. I've added some boards along there because before, let's have a look. You can sort of see about there, the cars can drop off down and an absolute nightmare to get back. So yeah, that's kind of placeholder at the moment. Kind of knocked it down. I'll sort that in a minute. Basically, I'm going to fix it in. At some point, do a better job. It was literally just an idea I had last night. I had some leftover wood from doing the floor, and I thought, I wonder if I can use that. We can sort of see the LED strips, so the League Pro white LED strips. I've doubled it up so we've got kind of, a lot more lighting under here, so it's kind of a bit nicer. Particularly when I was like fiddling on this side, trying to do this track. I don't know why it's disconnected. It was basically my own shadows. I still get a little bit. I don't know if I can do it now, but obviously a lot better now with the lighting. We've got League Pro S1 RGB lighting. The colour's not coming out very well. Again, this is playing. This is not how it's staying. This was just purely testing it. Someone to kind of check it out, Edward. But yeah, I think the kind of plan is we'll basically lay that a bit better. What else? So the storage area at the moment, a bit of a junk. Still got loads of stuff that we need to get rid of. But a lot better than it was in another video I'm going to do where we started. And then the other day I added some additional lighting over here. Again, just makes it a bit better. So actually we've got lighting either side. Don't really need it at the moment. It's kind of both of these strips are 10-meter ones. I kind of in the storage area ideally want it be able to switch off independently, so I might have to get another kind of mains adapter. And then my workbench, which desperately needs sorting out. It's kind of become a bit of a mess. So while we're sort of doing this. But the idea is this is going to be my sort of service bench, very makeshift. But I think plan is probably get some drawers and sort of start organising it a bit better. Get some shelves up here, and then the upper. So the lighting at the top. I've got a main lighting. I added lighting up there. At the moment it's not central, so we do get. You can't sort of see. I basically cast my own shadows, not ideal, particularly on a workbench. But I do have this light that I can switch on if it's powered. Let's go and go. So we get a much better kind of lighting with some sort of magnification as well. Which is quite handy for working on the trains. I'm sort of toying about kind of replacing this light, having a second one, but I've actually ordered a League Pro RGB light that's coming today actually, which it's a lot better. Kind of, it's like 1500 lumens, so it should kind of be a lot better, but also control the the temperature and stuff like that. The wall, I'm not sure. Kind of zoom out a bit. That's a bit better, right? Yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are where I should paint the wall. I'm a bit kind of worried about creating more damp issues, because previously, before I bought this out, there was a real bad condensation. Water with sort of condensation on the kind of felt stuff, and we obviously had all, this wasn't boarded out, all the kind of boxes and stuff were compressing the insulation, which again I'll do in another video, some snaps on that. So it's a lot better than it was. I'm hoping now there's sort of better airflow through here. But I think, obviously I don't know if you can hear this. You can hear the noise, particularly the wind. You get a lot of flapping. So like, these obviously move. There's quite a lot of flapping going on. I don't know whether I can sort of seal those. I potentially the PIR boards, but they're so expensive. It would cost me an absolute fortune up here. The other is the foil. There's another train guy I've sort of seen. I think it was called the New Railway Enthusiast or something. I forget his name. He had kind of foil. He'd done his loft slightly cheaper, but I reckon it would still probably cost hundreds of pounds to do up here. It's not a massive loft, kind of typical like new build. I think it's 4.8 meters long, and then what we got, so six boards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 boards wide, 1.2 meters each. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, enough. Can't do the math. The caffeine hasn't kicked in, but it's decent size. So yeah, and then the general plan is with this, what I want to get on. So yeah, I was saying I don't know whether to paint the wall, whether a little better rather than the horrible grey. Kind of thoughts. Whether I should have a second light, but I'll see how the new uprated bulb will go. And the plan with that actually, because the light switch is actually down there, so I have to go down if I want to turn the main light off, which is a bit of a hassle. At least with the kind of Leaf Pro ones, you can use an app to turn them off, or use Google or Alexa integration, which is quite good. So yeah, excuse the waffling. What else? So yeah, and then the kind of plan, we're trying to come up with a design for the track. So what we're thinking is basically going to build up a table that's basically going to run along the back there, and then along between the sort of truss here, and again this side. So basically mimicking kind of the area, and then we're thinking potentially coming out along the front here. So basically like a table, effectively what it is now, but kind of push against the wall. So basically we need to kind of maintain a walkway to get through. I don't know whether it's going to be a kind of sort of duck under. That's all right now, but as I get older, probably might be a bit more an issue. Or whether it's kind of a liftable top. I don't know how hard that's going to be to do. But yeah, basically build out some tables around, and then lay the track. And then once we've got those kind of built, then we'll kind of start looking at some scenery stuff. My sort of wife is quite keen to get involved in that. I'm looking forward to learning to do it. But my kind of sort of forte is, the tinkering with the trains and the electronics, and doing all the woodworking. And then my son is good, basically chief engineer. He's basically going to be running the trains. The other thing we've got, so yeah, basically get the table up, get it running, and then start building scenery. I can't decide what we want. We know we want sort of station. We want a coal mine. Yeah, and kind of bits and bobs. We want fields and sheep and stuff. Kind of mimicking sort of things that kind of mean to us. My granddad kind of worked down the sort of mines, and yeah, sort of we're both kind of into farming backgrounds and stuff. So it's kind of like touching on those. So that's the general key. At some point, I'll do a separate video on what we've got train wise, because we're starting to get a bit of a collection. Track wise at the moment it's DC. It's not working particularly well, but the kind of plan is that we're going to go DCC. Sort of looking forward to that journey. It does mean, trying to convert some of these older locos that we've got to DCC. Some probably won't be able to, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge. Or the other solution potentially is having a switch between, so I can run both DCC and DC and just flip between with a rocker switch or something. And then this, I think the RGB lighting I'll probably run around here like a sort of, horseshoe shape, if you like. Just kind of messing around really. But yeah, this is all like the lights is Lee Pro S1. It's AI powered. You can kind of customize it. Bit gimmicky, but I think you can do some cool stuff with it maybe. And I would like to kind of do some theming and stuff like that. Sort of start tinkering a bit of electronics. I sort of love playing with electronics, Arduino stuff. So I'm sure we can do some cool stuff. Do some projection or something. But yeah, it's just kind of a sort of general update. And then the other thing is power. So at the moment you can sort of see I've got spaghetti junction with extension leads, which is not great. So I don't know best of that. At the moment because I was a bit worried about one extension lead, so I've basically got two that I'm dropping down. It drops down, hangs down there into my study, which is not ideal. Longer term, I'm kind of thinking about maybe down, so just literally around that corner is my study. Whether I can actually spur off and run some kind of main wires in the cavity of this wall, and then come up here somewhere, and then we can actually have some proper sockets located in certain places, which would be much better. But I'll just sort of just check these lights. So with the Lee Pro, so the white ones you get a kind of remote. And I've actually found, although these are two separate lights, the actual controller, because it's just infrared, actually will operate if I get the remote pointing at the box, which is obviously typically a switch. So yeah, it's just actually falling around. So yeah, I can turn them off. This one's a bit better. I can actually see the end box there, so I can point and turn off. So yeah, you can kind of sort of see the difference in the lighting with just that. And so yeah, I've got the RGB lighting, but it makes it very, very dark up here with just the single light. Obviously a lot better when I get one. There we go, that's better. So just that one alone, it's a lot better, but you can sort of see this side, you start developing some nice shadows, some dark shadows. And obviously it just feels kind of a lot darker. Which ironically for the storage, I don't care about. I'm actually toying with, I know what sort of people's thoughts are, sticking some sort of curtain or something here. So I don't actually see this. This area, obviously, I need to keep clear because the ladder comes up under. But it only sort of pivots up through here. So it's not going to stop me sticking a curtain above to kind of hide all this area. That might look better. And then maybe change this light so it's actually on two separate power sources. So yeah, I can then ditch it. But yeah, it's sort of general updates. Yeah, and then do another one soon.